atmosphere type
Uh,
game. So
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Honestly,
that was a fantastic game.
it really was. It really was a good one.
I was very pleasantly surprised.
So we should be good on all the networks here.
Okay,
Check Twitter for me. Let's see.
I got you. Let me check that real quick.
Yep, here we go.
Yep.
We're going five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Fabius the Garnet. Am I Troy Bubba Q?
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we are going to talk about week one for college football and week one for the Gamecocks and how that went against the Virginia Tech Hokies as South Carolina goes to Atlanta on a neutral site and handles business, covers the spread as they needed to, and they did the job.
You
Q,
did.
first things first, man, before we talk about college football and, obviously how the game went, let's talk about Atlanta. Let's talk about old Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's talk about that experience. I'm going to be honest, man.
It was
This
solid,
was
man.
this was a last-second decision for me. Okay, I had no intent to going to Atlanta because, for one, I hate the traffic in Atlanta, and two, it's just a tough spot. But I'm going to tell you, getting in and out of Atlanta for this game was extremely, extremely easy. I was pleasantly surprised. The food was fantastic at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It was an amazing experience. The staff was awesome. A plus venue. I was pleasantly surprised. It was a great time. What are your thoughts, Q?
Well, as you can tell, Q's lost his voice, so I probably should tell you a lot of what was going on in Atlanta, man. First class place. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. First class place. If you've never been to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I would highly, highly recommend it. It has a real outdoorsy feeling while being indoors. The food was top notch and cheap. If
Mm.
you around the concourse, I want to say chicken fingers and fries, and we're talking like you get about four chicken fingers, you get a good handful of fries, bro. $6. You're not gonna find that at most stadiums, bro. You're not gonna find that at most stadiums. They had the Jack and Cokes. They had everything you needed. Very clean place. Very clean. Very, very clean. Very up to date. Very, very good place. Very, very, very impressed with what I was able to enjoy there at the Mercedes Benz Stadium. I was very happy about my experience. I met a lot of people. Shout out to my guy, Evan. Evan had a good tailgate going on. Me and my beautiful fiance were able to go over there and she had a blast. She wanted everyone to know she had a blast meeting people. Shout out to my boy Joey. A shout out to Gamecock Will. I got to see those cats before the game. Shout out to Bruce Ellington, was in my section. And so I was very, very hype about that to see Bruce. And Bruce was very complimentary of what he's seeing. He's, as you know, Bruce Ellington is a very quiet guy, but what he's seen recently when it comes to the Gamecock football, he's like, a lot of us guys have talked and we're really encouraged with the way things are going. So I mean, overall, it was an amazing experience outside of the game, man. It was an amazing experience, which, we'll get to the game, you know, here in a minute. But the experience of Mercedes Benz, I really want us to get back there for the SEC championship game.
Oh,
I 100% want us back at the championship game.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great experience.
Hmm.
Like I said, last second decision for me. We went with the club seats, and I got to tell you, man, first class, just amazing
Hmm.
experience. Being on
Hmm.
the field was really cool, and
Hmm.
you getting down there, you pass the Atlanta Falcons locker room, so you get to see how that looked like. So that was really neat. And you also passed the Gamecock locker room. Passed some of the guys. Got to see some of the media guys, Zach over there, Jacob Reeves, all of
Hmm.
them. I mean, great guys. We had a good conversations briefly before the game started. So overall, a fantastic experience, and like I said, I would love to be back in Atlanta. Honestly, it was easier to get in and out of than Charlotte was, and I was, like I said, surprised. I was very, very surprised. So Before we get into our game, Q, quite a handful of games were on your hand. A lot of games took place, and
Yeah.
the shocker of the day, Alabama goes into Florida State, and Florida State just gives it to them. Florida State outcoaches Alabama. They outlast Alabama. They show more effort than Alabama. And by the way, the Alabama fans that have been asking, that is a at least $70 million buyout for Kalen DeBoer. At least $70 million. And I know Alabama fans were sick when they saw Justin O running from sideline to sideline for the Gamecocks, showing off that speed, which would have helped against Florida State on Saturday. So what a showing for Florida State. Kudos to them because they absolutely outclassed. They destroyed Alabama. They did everything they needed to, which I will say, that first quarter drive by Alabama, one of the longest drives I've ever seen, by the way, in college football. One of the longest drives. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Florida State did the job. They took over, and they handled business. An impressive win. An impressive win for Florida State. Q, what are your thoughts about that win by Florida State?
So I want to shout out my boy Vic. Shout out my boy Kevin. Vic's a diehard Florida State fan. Kevin's just Kevin, but he likes Florida State. So Vic told me he felt this team was different. I needed to see it in order to believe it, but he told me this team was different, and they were. I got to catch a lot of it, a lot of it while I was doing wedding festivities. Shout out to my boy Mike. Congratulations on getting married, my man. Congratulations. It was a beautiful wedding. Enjoyed being a part of it. And so we were watching the game. I've never seen Alabama start to finish get outclassed that way in a very long time. It was physical. It was a physical situation, in my personal opinion. A very physical situation. And I think that's the issue that I had with that game. DeBoer looked like he was not supposed to be there, which is crazy because last year there were times he showed he should be there. So I was kind of shocked about that. You let Mike Norvell off the hook. Is if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, you let Mike Norvell 110% off the hook. And when you let Mike Norvell off the hook the way you did, you then open yourself up to a lot of the criticism you're getting right now. You're opening yourself 100% up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State was good, gimmicky offense. Do I think that's going to last the whole time? No. I don't believe it will last the whole time. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they are good enough to make that last. I think there will be some losses on there. Do I think they're better than last year? Absolutely. But I will not go the length of this and say that they're back to where they need to be because I don't personally believe in Norvell. I do think Alabama's overhyped. I think Alabama does not have the answer to what they need this year. And I'm going to be honest with you, FG, that's bad. Because I think another season of 9-3, 8-4 for Bama fans are going to lead to a lot of questions. Now, are they fair? I can't say that. That's not. That's hard to say. He literally had to follow the GOAT. Like you're talking Nick Saban here.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't agree with is you killing yourself. You should have been way more prepared for this team than you were. That Florida State team was not better than the team that you had on the field. No, they weren't. I don't care how nobody wants to put that. So that game was embarrassing. That was not the first and only game because I want to jump into this next game I felt like was very embarrassing. Clemson was embarrassing. It was embarrassing on a couple fronts. It has nothing to do with us being rivals. It has everything. And when I say this, I mean this with my entire heart. Everything to do with how you were illy prepared for LSU. There's no reason why y'all should not have sent blitzes on LSU. There was no reason to do bend or break against LSU. You guys should have done a way better game plan than what I saw. That was embarrassing. I do not think as I stated before, I said it on Rob Brown's show. I don't think Clemson's going to win it. I don't think they have it. The depth is the issue. The
Mm-hmm.
depth, they don't have anybody after their starting 11.
Yeah.
They don't have it on neither side of the ball.
And Q,
So they're done.
I'll tell you, I said if Clemson wasn't able to get to the quarterback, Nussmeier, multiple times, there's going to be an issue with this defense for Clemson. They got to Nussmeier one time.
Told you.
One time out of everybody they have on that defense, out of that whole LSU offensive line being replaced. I don't care who the hell you grab out of that portal. I don't care. I'm telling you, game one, the communication on the away at a away team in Clemson, which normally, like I said, I get it. Clemson is, it's a tough place to play. I think we can all give, it's a tough place to play.
We can all agree
right?
with that, man.
But
we can all agree with that.
But communication should be a problem when you bring a whole new offensive line, when you're trying to click. But for the fact of the matter that LSU only gave up 1 sack against Clemson, that is a massive red flag. I don't care who you are
Thank you.
and what you believe in. And I understand. I will say that defense is not why Clemson lost, okay?
No, it's not.
I'll say that.
That's a fair point. They're
But
not
that
the
is
reason
a
why.
massive red flag.
Another one is their offensive line. I mean, are we going to talk real ball? Matt Luke did not do anything to get those boys prepared. Let's be real. He didn't get them prepared. The offensive line looked like pathetic. I personally feel like they were pathetic. That was for them to hype their team as much as they did. The offensive line was pathetic. I'm not saying our grass is greener, but I am going to say this: that offensive line was pathetic on their end. That was pathetic, and that offense is very vanilla. To say you wanted that win, you needed that win. That was a very vanilla offense.
Just being honest. And from returning production alone, and what Clemson did in this game, I mean, get it. Cade played a terrible game. Cade made some bad decisions. Cade was not who he needed to be for Clemson. Absolutely not.
I agree.
Absolutely not. But that play calling by Garrett Riley again continues to show what the hell is he doing.
It was bad, bro.
That was awful. Real quick, rapid fire. Just about this one, Ohio State, Texas. I will say Arch Manning struggled on the road, but Ohio State is a very hostile environment. I'm not ready to right the ship on Arch Manning yet. There's no reason to. But I will say Ohio State looks good.
I don't give a damn. Arch Manning didn't play nobody in high school. There's a reason why he sat behind that man for 2 consecutive years. He sat behind a 7th-round draft pick. He showed you why he sat behind a 7th-round draft pick. I don't care what nobody effing says. You guys sat here and preached to us that this man was going to open up the playbook for Sark. Sark did the same thing he did when he had with Quinn. He fumbles the bag every time in big games. I don't care what anyone has to say. Arch is not generational. He's not.
No, he's not.
Texas fans need to come to Jesus about it. Everyone needs to come to it. He's not. Arch is not better than Lagway. He's not better than Sellers. He's not even better than Nussmeier, in my personal opinion. He's literally running 4th or 5th in the league right now. Arch is not that. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not. He ain't proved anything. He even said himself, I haven't proven anything. And it's no offense to Arch. This has nothing to do with Arch himself. This is all you media pundits who stuck your neck out and did what you did, and look at you now. This is for you guys. That's what happened. This is for you. You shouldn't have done it. And now look at what happened. Now Arch is getting crucified.
I agree. I definitely agree. Final 2 real quick. Tennessee, Syracuse. Are Tennessee fans overreacting after winning 45-26?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Thank you. Now, Miami, Notre Dame. Is Miami. Are they going to make a move this year, or is Notre Dame just not? They don't have it anymore.
They don't have it this year. Okay. I feel like the issue I have with that game, Mario Cristobal gave you every opportunity to win that game. He gave you every freaking opportunity to win that game. He literally handed you the game on a silver platter. The man can't coach. And I just feel like Marcus Freeman fumbled the bag again. per use. Um, he did it in a national championship game. He fumbled the bag. Jeremiah Love only having 33 rushing yards is a problem.
Mm.
That cat should have had more. I don't even know how many carries did he have. Do you know how many carries Jeremiah Love had? Like if he didn't have over 15 to 20 carries, you failed. You failed.
Yeah,
I don't care what you.
I was 10 carries. 10 carries for
Why would
33
you only
yards.
give? Why would you only give the best running back in the nation 10 carries? Why would you do that?
Well, it's definitely interesting choice for Marcus Freeman and what he had with Notre Dame in this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done 10 carries for him, bro. No.
It's curious for sure. It's definitely interesting. A fun week of college football, man. A lot of fun this week, and I mean the next week is going to be a lot of fun as well with the next week. I mean you've got a lot of really good fun matchups coming up
Mhm.
this week. Illinois, Duke, that's going to be one I'm going to be watching. And
If
then of
Duke
course
wins
you
that game, oh my god.
got
Y'all better
Kentucky,
pray.
Ole Miss. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Arizona
Mhm.
State, Mississippi State, that could potentially be fun, and Michigan, Oklahoma. Those are going to be some good matchups to see what
If
happens. And
Arizona State struggles against Mississippi State, they have bigger problems. They need to look in the mirror on that one.
oh, I know, yeah,
Because
yeah,
Dillingham was just I was watching a video. Dillingham was saying they gotta stay an hour 15 away because that's the closest place without a casino at a hotel.
interesting.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So that's a long bus ride to go into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I never thought of how much of an advantage that really could play for you. That's a pretty wow.
It's
Ooh,
interesting.
shout out to my boy Brandon. Vandy versus V Tech is next week too. I am intrigued to see
Oh
that
yeah,
game.
yeah,
That is
yep,
actually a game I want to see.
yep.
If they go in there, if Vandy goes into Virginia Tech and wins again, um, I'm gonna have a couple concerns for our team because I feel like V Tech has come a long way. Their receiving core is nice. I don't care what no one says, and we'll get into it more, but their receiving core is actually really really nice. A lot better than I thought.
Yeah,
Um, so
a
I
nice
mean,
nice receiving core.
yeah. So,
Nice
but yeah,
receiving
there's some
core for
games next
VTech.
week. I'm excited about. I'm excited to see us play again too. I think that'll run good for us. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also, I don't know if it's a bad omen or not, but Alabama plays Louisiana Monroe next weekend. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was '07 that
Yeah, that was
Louisiana Monroe beat Alabama.
that was Saban's first year, wasn't it? That was Saban's first year.
I can't remember if that was Saban or Shula. I can't remember, but I'm going to
No, it
tell
was
you
Saban. It was Saban's first year.
this.
It was Saban's
Okay.
first year.
Yeah, but it's definitely one to watch. I might have some bad feelings from that game. Definitely bad feelings. But yeah, it's gonna tell us something, man. With Virginia taking out Vandy next week, because I mean we got Vandy the following week, so we're gonna see what that
We're
looks like.
as I've stated before, everything rides on these first 5 games.
Hmm.
Everything of South Carolina season rides in these first 5 weeks. Y'all are not gonna hear me say nothing different. It will be everything riding on these first 5 weeks.
Yep.
If we cannot get it done in these first 5 weeks, we do not ask me if we're going to the playoffs because the answer is no.
Yep. Well, with that, Q, we'll go ahead and get into our game. But before we do that, let's get a word from our sponsors over there, and we'll get into it here in a moment.
Let's get it.
Get a few second countdown here. I'm going to tell you, man, that Alabama UL Monroe game, that's interesting to me.
I can see it being interesting. I can see that going. That could
Can
be
you
a
imagine? Can you imagine?
boy.
Oh my gosh.
DeBoer's gone if he does that. DeBoer's done.
How
He's
do you
he's
find that kind
100%.
of money though? That's so much money.
Man, it can be whatever you want it to be, bro. That
That's
is that could literally get very ugly very quick if they win that game.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to, but that'd be wild. That'd be absolutely wild. But let's give it a few second countdown here in five, four, three, two, and one. All right, Q, well, let's go ahead and we're going to talk about what happened in Atlanta for
Okay.
week one for the Gamecocks as South Carolina goes into Atlanta on the neutral field at Mercedes Benz Stadium and takes care of business with a final score of 24-11. 24-11. I'm going to tell you, Q, the start of this one was fun. You know, Frank Beamer did the beginning of everything, did the prayer, which is awesome. It was a really cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell the emotions were high. You know, South Carolina had 2001 play. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, Virginia Tech had Inner Sandman, which I'm going to tell you, seeing that was really neat. I know it wasn't
Yeah.
at Lane State. It was kind of cool, and I mean Metallica's badass. So, I mean that was neat to see.
I'd also say if you ever get a chance, definitely go. My
Hmm.
brother got to play his first collegiate football game at Lane Stadium, and it was that was actually pretty dope to witness. Like outside of anything else, that is actually pretty dope to witness.
Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you get a Lane State. I mean, because South Carolina plays Virginia Tech, and well, they're supposed to in a few years. Up
We'll
there
see
at
if it
Virginia
stays
Tech.
there. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see. I
find
hope
out.
so. I think Shane would want it to stay.
I think so. I
I
I,
think
I could
Shane would
see
want
that.
that to stay. So
I could definitely see that. Now, moving on from that, South Carolina, starts the game out. They are on offense. Virginia Tech at first plays in the second half.
hmm
The Gamecocks came out and they moved the ball really, really well. They moved the ball really, really, really well. They had
hmm
Mo Brown come out from the start. Mo Brown to start it all off.
Mo
I,
Breezy.
I didn't see
Mo
Mo coming
Breezy.
out with that, man. That was interesting. So Shula was dialing it up early, man, getting the tight ends involved early, and then ultimately South
hmm
Carolina scores first by Lenore Sellers doing what Lenore Sellers does and having Heisman moments,
Yeah.
being number 16, taking people down, bullying people around, playing bully ball and Q.
hmm
Lenore Sellers. What a start
School.
to the game, man.
Yeah. That was a really good scripted first drive, leading with 6 point, with a touchdown with 6 points. Very crucial. Um, I liked what Shula was trying to do with the offense. I'm a big fan of what Shula's trying to do with the offense. Even throughout the game, I was very impressed and intrigued with what Shula was doing. I loved it. Things kind of got murky after that first drive. So, couple issues I had that I want to address with that. Offensive line wise, they didn't have the best, especially the interior. They did not have the best first half. They struggled a lot, especially at left guard, and Virginia Tech really took advantage of that. After taking a step back, reviewing the tape, a couple things I didn't think about when I looked at that, revisited it. Because as you know, FG, when you're watching the game live, it's hard to kind of understand what they're doing, but you guys
Sure.
sit back and look at it. So Virginia Tech played a really strong pro style 4-2-5 defense. A lot of stunts, a lot of twists, a lot of those things were happening.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think the offensive line was prepared for that.
Right.
And I think communication needed to be better across the offensive line. I do think first game jitters played a role, especially at center too. I think he still had to adjust. Like, hey, this is big boy ball now. Like, I have to. There's some things I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were missing Shed. Shed is, from all intents and purposes, the starting left guard, and we were missing him in this game.
Yep.
Marquis did a very good job in the second half. Let me shout Marquis Anderson out. A very good job in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say if you look up his stats, do you have his PFF pulled up? I'm pretty sure he did a
Yes.
very good job with the in the second half, and he was definitely a big player in that. Um, for Sin's sake, I'm gonna give a shout out to Casey Henry. Before Sin comes on here randomly and explodes for me not giving him a shout out. So Casey Henry, You get your shout out. Congratulations. Um, he was the best offensive lineman on there last night. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was the best O lineman we had yesterday. Um,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, we have to do better about the stunts and what's going on with those. I think that has to be cleaned up. The second half, I felt like looked a lot better than the first half did.
Mm-hmm.
But here was my issues. Lenore's made some very questionable decisions. He held the ball a little too long, in my personal opinion. He did that way too many times. Now, was he trying to get some things open? Absolutely. And that deep ball to Nick Harbor tells you everything you need to know. My God, that deep ball to Nick Harbor was on the money. That was
Yeah.
on the money. That was a dot.
It was.
Um, but he took advantage of what the defense started giving him, which was good. And you started seeing some of Lenore's sellers being Lenore's. The run game, Faison. My God. You talking about a statement run on a 2nd and 33? You talking about a guy who was like, I'm going to go get a first down? That was a run. Um, him and Oscar Attaway are 1-2 punch. That is a strong 1-2 punch. That is a strong 1-2 punch. I would say they're the top half of the SEC type 1-2 punch. And I think all intents and purposes, with as bad as we played on the offensive line, especially in the first half, they were able to keep the run game going. And I'm glad Shula stuck with the run game. Uh, for the most part, I am glad about that because I feel like Shula didn't give up on something that would typically happen. What 9 out of 10 times in any other time, Shula
Mm-hmm.
definitely would would have gave well like a lot of our offensive coordinators would have definitely gave up, just tried to throw it. But we got some things, and once we settled in, Donovan Merck, shout out to Lil Bro. Lil Bro got him a catch. Got him a nice little first down. But Nicholas Harbor.
He dropped one ball and people started freaking out. He dropped one pass and people started freaking out because he caught he thought he was trying to run with it basically before
Yes,
he
it
caught it.
was. That's
That's
all it
that's what
was.
happened.
Same
That's what
thing
happened.
anybody else does.
Yeah, yeah. It's no different. It's no different what Murph did. Our guy Murph on his first drop.
Yeah, that's
It
all it
happens.
was. It
It
happens.
happens.
And Brady Hunt was good too. Michael Smith, it was good to see him
Mm.
flash in there a little bit. Still one of the top tight ends I've seen. The boy could play. Offensively, you saw it come together at the end of the game. I think with South Carolina State next week, we're going to see a lot. But my God, that defense.
Yeah.
Let me get to that
Now
defense.
that offensive line, as far as pass blocking goes, let's go ahead over some grades. Boaz Stanley, he did allow a sack in this one, but his pass blocking grade was 76.6%.
So he did good there.
Yeah, 76.6 grade, excuse me, on between 26 snaps there. Trevon Ball was 85.4. No sacks allowed, Trevon Ball. So Big Ball had no
A
sacks
good
allowed,
game. He had a good game.
85.4. Josiah Thompson with a grade of 69.1. 69.1. This is all, like I said, per PFF through the grading system with them.
Mm-hmm.
Kason Henry, since boy, had 80.2 grade and 80.2 grade.
That's
Not
a
too
good grade.
bad.
That's a good grade.
Rodney Newsom Jr., on the other hand, 25.5 grade and allowed 2 sacks.
Yeah, that was rough on
Not
him. He
not
did not have a
great.
good game.
Marquis allowed 1 sack. However, the grade's not really posted there. Razul Faison, his pass blocking was at 77.8%, at
That's
77.8
elite.
grade,
That's elite for
77.8
a.
for running back.
That's
Brady
really good.
Hunt, 71.4, and then Jordan Dingle came in at a 65.2. That's pass blocking. Now, run blocking, a little bit of an
Ooh,
issue there. A little bit of an
ooh,
issue. Case and
ooh.
Henry, 53.8. Josiah Thompson at a 43.6.
Jesus
Boaz
Christ.
Stanley, 60.9. Trevon Ball, 65.5. He actually has the highest run blocking out of anybody here. Nick Harbor had a 60.9. Brady Hunt, 45.1. Lenore Sellers himself, he had a 60.0, which he They grade him over there. Vandrius Jacobs, 61.7. Jordan Dingle at 58.4. Roddy Newsom Jr. at a 49.5. Donovan Murph, 62.2. Marquis Anderson coming in one of the ranked the higher ones, the run blocking at a 63.0. And then Brian Rowe at a 61.1. So interesting offensive line grades all around. Fans have talked about communication being an issue. I think the scheme had something to do with that too, and also not having Shed. I mean, you when you have a starter that's gonna get the load, and he doesn't unfortunately receive it in game one, things happen. And also, I will say this: Virginia Tech did basically return their whole front seven outside of one guy that I can remember that was at a Senior Bowl.
Yeah, they had a lot of guys return, and they went to the portal and did what they had to do. Um, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, they looked improved.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like an improved team, and that's not a team that was like a complete utter bust of a team last year. Like, what they win? What, 5 games last year?
Something like that, yeah.
They were like 5-7, bro. They were not the worst team in America. They were a good team.
Yeah, they were. Now, taking it back to the first drive of the game after that, obviously South Carolina handles business, and then Fred J.R. Johnson shows off what we've been hearing about all throughout summer, his playmaking ability, his athleticism, as he intercepts one. He intercepts it in the end zone, but the wide receiver in him said, hey, let me take this back and let me try to make something out of it. Let me try to make something out of it. Look, I was telling fans around me, he just came in at this linebacker position, right? He played games last year on special teams, but he's just starting as a linebacker. He played wide receiver in high school. I'm not putting it past him. It happens. It happens. He learned from it. He's going to learn from that. It's a simple mistake.
Sure
it's a simple mistake.
It wasn't that crucial. I don't know why people thought it was, but it really wasn't that crucial.
But I do think that's the first safety that South Carolina has had since Stephen Garcia in 2010 against Alabama. That needs to be fact checked, but I'm going off from what I remember, and I could be wrong on that.
I mean, that's a long time to not have one, so that's
it's been a while. It's been a while. It maybe wouldn't happen under Muschamp. I can see it. I can see Jake Bentley.
Did Jake do one? Was it a Jake situation? That's a
potentially.
Good question.
I don't know, but
a potential
that's
Jake
what comes
situation.
To mind.
I can see that.
Yeah, but that's what comes to mind. That's the. I mean, if it's not, it's close to it. And then Virginia Tech obviously has a safety. They kicked that field goal. William Joyce, he shows off his leg at that 27-yarder. At least we're able to get something there. John Love for Virginia Tech, 56 yards out. That was an impressive kick.
A kick, bro. And he's from Spartanburg, right?
I don't know where John Love's from, but he's got a leg.
I want to say he's a Spartanburg kid. I want to say that was the kid from Spartanburg.
It could be.
So that was a good kick. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say that like it wasn't.
It was a solid kick, and he also drills a 39-yarder later into the game. But South Carolina does not give up a touchdown. South Carolina does not give up a touchdown against Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
they contain drones pretty well for the most part. They contain it pretty well, considering, like I said, what South Carolina lost. The linebackers they've had to bring in, Justin O, right? What a fantastic addition
that boy was
Sunday.
He was. I didn't even know he was going to be like that. He was sideline to sideline like he was. That man was dangerous. I didn't even know he could be that dangerous. He could be that dangerous, to be honest with you.
I mean, the speed was there. I mean, just a hard hitter.
That boy was good.
Hard hitter.
Sean Murphy did not have the game he wanted, and I think he would tell you the same. So I'm looking forward to his bounce back. I think his bounce back will be something I'm extremely looking forward to. But man, oh man, Justin O is a baller. He was everywhere. That cat was everywhere, bro. Like that cat was everywhere.
He was on it, man.
He was everywhere.
He was on it. He had a great game. Brandon Cisse, I mean, the first few drives, you really saw what Brandon Cisse could do. He was a hard
That boy
hitter. He was
good.
knocking the ball out. I
That
mean, a
boy good. That
very
boy's
solid on
good.
coverage. Very solid on coverage. I will say this, Q. Obviously, with Judge Collier after he went down, we don't know the significance of how long he's going to be down for. We don't know that yet. We should
Hmm.
probably know something this week, I guess. I mean, I will tell
Yeah,
you
we'll find
this.
something more this week.
Yeah, that leg was casted up. He was on crutches, so we don't know the extent of it. But once we do know, obviously, you guys will know as well, if not before us. I mean, if that happens, but
Yes.
I've got to tell you, man, Brandon Cisse, Vakari Swain, they were good in coverage. They had their moments though where these Virginia Tech receivers made these catches where they didn't look back. I don't feel
Yeah,
like they were pinpointing the receivers the way they needed to in this game.
I can see that. That was a. I agree. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
I
I do
mean, they were on
100%
them.
agree with that.
They were on them. They had the coverage, but just turn around. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, man, like what are we doing?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think I will say this. So defensively, first off, let me start off with something. The way Dylan Stewart took over that pivotal drive in the third quarter
Mm-hmm.
was insanity. He literally took over the entire drive. He literally 110% took over. Every play was made exclusively by him.
Yeah,
That was insane to watch. Um, Nick Barrett had a very good game.
he did.
Nick Barrett has come a long way. He had a very good game. Markel Goodwine had a very good game. Um, it was good to see Dindy flying around too. He had a good game. Fred J.R. Johnson is next man up. That is the next best linebacker we will have coming out of Columbia, South Carolina. That
Mm-hmm.
cat was flying around. I told you about Justin O. Justin O was a baller. Brian Cisse was extremely good in coverage. Were there 50-50 balls he lost? Sure. But man, can he cover a corner at corner. He is very good at corner. Extremely good. Peyton Williams. Let me tell you his grade real quick. In coverage, Peyton Williams was 72.2 in coverage. That was his coverage grade, was 72.2. That cat was doing some really good coverage. I thought that was good. Brian Cisse was the highest at 74.4. I'm telling y'all, he knows what he's doing. We have to step up opposite of Brian if Judge is out. If Judge is out, who didn't have the best game, but if Judge is out, we have to step up. That means Miles Norwood needs to step up. Vakari Swain has to do a little bit better. Um, DeMarcus Leach, who came out there, I want to give a shout out to DeMarcus Leach. I don't care that he got caught on in coverage. He's a freshman that came in, I want to say in the summer. Did Leach
Mm-hmm.
come in the summer? No,
I
Leach
think he
came in
did.
he might have
Oh
came in
no,
the fall.
yeah.
He came in spring. Leach is new to that. He was always played safety. He was also a quarterback at Abbeville. I'm proud of the kid for going in there and handling business. Very proud of him. He did what he needed to do. He handled business. We're going from there. We just got to get better in coverage, which T Gray is going to get that fixed up. I'm not worried about that. That's Gray. Um, but in coverage, we did. Another guy I want to shout out on defense that actually had a lot of times he was in there. He may not have had the stats for it. Desmond Umanzulu. Off
Yeah.
the edge, Desmond looked good. Him opposite of him opposite um of Stewart
Oh, Dylan.
was good. That was good. I was thoroughly impressed with him. And so I wanted to make sure everyone knew that and understood that. So defensive wise, Fred led with 10 tackles, Dylan Stewart with 7, DQ with 6, Markel Goodwine with 5. So that was your top 4 tacklers. And I will also say this. Tackles for loss was interesting. Justin O with 1. because we totaled 4 tackles for loss. Dylan Stewart 1.5. Cisse with half one. So him and Dylan, Justin or JT Gear which I hope he's gotten back healthy.
Yeah.
I really hope he's gotten back healthy.
Right.
Really hope he's gotten back healthy. But I was thoroughly impressed with some of those guys and how they were flying around. I was Nick Barrett with the 3 tackle day. Cisse with 4 tackles. I mean, and Cisse had 2 deflections. He had some good. He was in coverage and he did some things. Peyton Williams had him a good game. I was really high on how Peyton played.
How about a DQ?
DQ
Smith,
had a
by
good
the
one.
way.
Had a good game back there. He had a
No
good
missed
game.
tackles, I don't believe. I mean, what was his grade Q? I mean, he played fantastic, honestly, for
In
normally
run
what we've seen
defense,
from.
he was 78. He had a really
See,
good run defense. Justin O with an 85
wow,
and Dindy with a 89.
yeah,
Dylan with a 75. That was a grade he was struggling in last year.
he was.
Dylan with a 75. And Fred Johnson, of course, he was good all around on that.
Mhm.
Pass rush, I think we struggled in, but Dindy was high up there. He was 72. Fred Johnson was 74, and Cisse was 70. JT Gear had 67, but he struggled a little bit with 55. Um, but we had an okay time. We just only had 2 sacks, so we just had to kind of just got to get ourselves together. We're gonna
Well,
get there though.
and I tell you, you could tell not having a George Wilson, a Jalen Brown, where you didn't have these guys that were going to be part of that rotation available. I mean, you could see the struggles were in there a little bit. You know, you could see it there. I'd like to see Brian Thomas Jr. take that next step. I don't know if we saw that in game one.
We
I feel
did,
like
and I
he
feel like
got
he got to do that. He's got to do that.
yeah. I mean he kept getting blocked, man. Like he would not get past. So I feel like Dylan Stewart obviously way he took over that one possession was massive. That the sack, the tackle for loss. I mean it was back to back plays too, by the way, and he probably should have had more sacks in this game. Honestly, I mean
He
he
should have
took a
about 3
bad
or 4.
angle. Yeah, he took a bad angle on one. The second one he just missed it. You know he had a great game. I mean Dylan Stewart is Dylan Stewart, and I'm not gonna lie, when he went down that first time, I was like, oh no, man, it's just
Yeah, it wasn't good.
it was a bad pit of my stomach, bad feeling in my stomach when he went down. But look, the other guys though, defense, they did what they needed to do. Would like to see more. Like to see more going forward. But starting out, man, the linebackers outside of Murphy, which he just didn't have a good game, but Demetrius Knight told me in Mobile, he's like, look, he said this linebacker group is going to be solid. They're going to be solid.
Justin O is that boy can play.
Yeah. Yeah, J.R. Johnson, Justin O. I mean, they're going to be fun to watch this season. They have a lot of speed, a lot to show for it, and I can't wait to continue to watch how they look. Vakari Swain, I want to talk about him real quick. Obviously, on special teams, he muffed that first punt, man. He muffed that punt where he just took his eye off the ball for a moment and he lost it, but didn't turn it over. The second time around, obviously, he was great on punt return. He returned that one for a touchdown, the first punt return for a touchdown since 2013 by Ace Sanders. But talk about Vakari Swain. This guy, I mean, Q, you've already said it. He missed
He's special.
all of
He's
spring,
special.
right? All of spring, summer.
Yeah, he's special.
And he showed off, man.
He's special. Someone that I've been high on. He was a top 50 player from On Three when he came out of high school. Vakari has always been special with the ball in his hand. He's a great defender. He knows what he's doing. You just have to give him time. He still is young. He's still learning the game, but he's a smart kid that knows what he's doing. That or accepting that instead of declining that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him the space and room he needed, and obviously Vakari saw something. Because when they accepted that, Vakari saw something. He saw space, and he said, "All right, I'm going to take it." I will say that place got crazy when he did that. That place went crazy.
It absolutely.
Shout out to the fans that went. Shout out to you guys, because when I tell y'all how loud it was in there, that's why I don't have a voice. It was extremely loud in there. Extremely loud.
Let me see if I could pull that audio up from the game from that
Boy,
moment.
boy, that audio
Pull it
was
up.
insane. I promise y'all, that audio won't do any justice of how loud it really was in there.
I mean, those are facts. I mean, it really
It
does. I mean,
was extremely loud in there.
it really was. It really was. Let me see if this is it. As I work on I mean, Swain, doing what he did. I mean, he made some great moves on
Yes.
that return, and you, hey, you did what you needed to do, and I appreciate you for making up for muffing that punt to begin with. But overall, I mean, South Carolina, no turnovers in this game, no turnovers at all. There was a couple moments
Sellers
that
had
they could
Sellers had
have,
a
but
really good game,
Sellers had a really
63%.
good game. I mean, just a solid day, man. Solid day. Now, on the ground, Q, obviously South Carolina's got a little bit of running attack now with Oscar Attaway and Rizal
Hmm.
Faison. They showed it. Oscar Attaway had a bunch of really nice runs in this one, man. Oscar Attaway had some really nice runs, showed some
Hmm.
really good moves. I
And
mean,
some
he
up
did.
tempo. That up tempo was
Yes,
really nice to see.
yes.
I love that up tempo. We started running the ball. We got a good run on it. Yeah, that up tempo was huge.
Hmm. Yeah, they looked he looked solid. Rizal Faison on that one rush that he had that he was what 33 yards, right?
Hmm.
33 yards.
Yep.
An impressive run by Faison. That's obviously
Looking
stuff
forward to
that we
seeing him
wanted to
play a little bit
see.
more. I really want to see him
Hmm.
play a little bit more. So I am looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. But we had I overall that was a you got the win. You got the win while covering the spread and actually, doing what you need to do.
Right,
I am impressed with what we did there. There were things to clean up. It's the first game. Everything there's always time to clean up. But
right.
you saw what this team is quite literally capable of doing.
Hmm.
Literally, quite literally, you can see what they're capable of doing.
Hmm.
So that's where I was with it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, wide receiver play. What do you think about the separation cue that these guys were getting in this game?
Thought they did a pretty good job. We just got to see the field a little bit better. I thought the tight ends did a really good job. Donovan did a really good job getting separation. Mazio had one where, oh man, I was mad that they couldn't get it to him, because he was definitely open, and that probably would have went for six. I just think it's all about settling in, getting your footing right, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, this is by the way the punt return aftermath here in a second.
Yeah, that place was going crazy. Those white towels were everywhere. Yeah, it was going crazy in there.
I mean,
It was
it
loud.
was good stuff, man. It was a very you could tell who who had the most fans for what fan base. I mean, it was probably what 75-25, maybe
If
something
that,
like that.
if
If
that, it
that
might.
eighty
I might even
twenty.
get. Yeah, I might have gave it 80-20. Like we
Yeah,
were, we definitely owned that stadium.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. Finally, Q, before we wrap this thing up, Nick Harbor being Nick Harbor and
1 yard away from 100.
1 yard away from 100, but was he really 1 yard away from 100? Was he one touchdown away from not having two? Was that a catch, Q?
Oh, it was 100% a catch, dude. Y'all wanted him to ballerina, land on his toes, all that, bro. I'm not trying to hear that. That was a catch, and you literally called it an LSU game. Literally the day before, y'all gave it a catch, and all of a sudden now it's not a catch. Like, but then again, we had Big 12 officials, and they're pretty dumb. So I'm not even shocked at the end result of that. I'm genuinely not even shocked.
I don't know, Q. I mean, I feel like every time we see these calls come out, whether you're watching SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, nobody knows what the hell a catch is anymore. Nobody knows. I mean, really knows what a catch is anymore.
No, no one knows what that is. I don't know what a catch is no more. You can't. You're gonna have to just tell me what a catch is, because I don't know what it is no more. I don't. I thought I knew.
Look, when I've got NFL guys, okay, NFL scouts, telling me that's a catch in college every day of the week, and not in NFL, of course, but college. From where they've been scouting for years, by the way, and all of a sudden this is not a catch anymore. What does this tell you?
The game's cooked, bro. Game's cooked.
The game's cooked, and you know what's coming. It's going to be AI.
I can't wait.
It's coming. AI is going to be taking over. It's not if, but when. And all these other BS officials that make these calls off of I don't know what they look at anymore, honestly, but it's not going to matter.
None of that's gonna matter to me. Like I
Yeah.
said,
You're about to be replaced.
it was. But all in all, though, that was a good game by Nick. Nick definitely had a 2 touchdown game. Would have been over 100 yards receiving, which is what you need from your QB or from your wide receiver one, which I told y'all he would be the wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was impressed. I'm ready to see what the rest of the season looks like. You get to 1-0. That was the key. You get to 1-0. And now you are exactly where you need to be, in my personal opinion. You get to 1-0. You got to get to 2-0 next week. Get ready and then after that, we're getting ready for South Carolina State this week. Let's get ready for Vandy next. After that,
I do.
But you got to go 1-0 every week.
Absolutely, I do agree. Unfortunately, this is where we have to talk about college football pick'ems. And Q, we started this thing for the Welcome podcast for this season.
You did this. This.
I started it, even though I'm not the one that made the picks that he gave Q this record. But here we go. So, in the college football pick'em, we have Parker White, the great kicker Parker White, our guy Parker White. He's one of our pick'em guys. Tommy from Touchdown to 5 Points, the great sign marquee, great in recruiting trips that does a lot for recruiting. Tommy, he's in this pick'em standing with us, and Rob Brown, of course. Rob Brown, everybody knows Rob Brown, the voice in the Upstate. And then finally, myself, Sin and Q Mac. And well, the Welcome Home podcast did not have a great start to this, Q, not at all. Parker White on top of the leaderboard right now with a 7-3 record. Parker White with a 7-3 record. Tommy from Touchdown to 5 Points comes in at 5-5. Rob Brown 4-6. Myself, I am 3-7. Sid and Q are coming up on the rear at 2-8 apiece. 2-8 for both of them.
AI was hacked.
AI was hacked. Is that what happened, Q?
I was hacked.
He was hacked.
I was hacked.
Q was hacked.
Picks. Y'all know me. It's not me.
Yeah, Q was hacked.
Won't happen next time, guys.
I will say I should have had the Rob Brown record as I changed my Florida State pick at the last moment because I don't know what I was thinking there. Should have gone with the gut. But I, for some reason, just thought I'd get funny with it. So, not a great start for the Welcome Home podcast, but the bounce back will come. The bounce back will come. Now, these are the games, Q. Are you ready for the games that are being picked this week?
Yes.
All right, so in order for the bounce back to come, this is what we're looking at, all right? And you can go ahead and make your picks now. The guys will in this pick them. But it's Texas, San Jose State, Kent State, Texas Tech, Central Michigan versus Pittsburgh, Utah State and Texas A&M, Clemson and Troy, Oregon, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, South Florida and the Gators, Michigan and Oklahoma, and finally rounded out is Georgia Southern and Southern Cal. So, an opportunity for the bounce back for the Welcome Home podcast. And Parker White's at a good start right now. Parker White's got a good start on us.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by the. I'm intrigued to see if Ole Miss really gets their get back on those cats.
It's definitely intriguing. Although Kentucky didn't look too great against Toledo. I'm just going to put that out there.
Correct.
Yeah,
I don't care what no one says. They look bad.
Yeah, they didn't. They took care of business, but the way they took care of it is kind of it's a little iffy. Little iffy. Q, let's finish this thing up by the recruits that were supposed to be in Atlanta. I don't know how many have made it in, but the names here are the names that were in. Joshua Dobson, 5-star DB, he was there. This list is from Gamecock Central from last week, by the way. So shout out to them. KJ Green from over there, Stevenson, Stone Mountain, that Mike Davis
Yeah.
stomping grounds. Abram Eisenhower, the offensive lineman from Valdosta. Kennedy D. Green, the 4-star DB from Mableton, Georgia. Caden Way from McDonough, Georgia, 4-star running back. From College Park, right there, Justin Murphy, another 4-star running back out of there. From Roanoke, Demarcus Brown, Raleigh's 4-star DB, Xavier Hassan. And then finally, Woodruff running back, Aiden Gibson. And then, of course,
I think Landon
Duckworth.
I think Landon Duckworth was there.
Landon was there.
There was a few other guys that were there.
Yeah.
That I ran into. I got to think back and remember, but yeah, it's a good group that was there, just kind of chilling, watching the game. Saw some things they needed to see.
Yep. And all accounts, man, Josh Dobson had a great time.
Oh, for sure. Dobson knows.
Had a great time.
He got to see what was on display. Carolina people making the plays. He's a big fan of that. Which shout out to them for bringing him to that Clemson game where he got to see, could see Clemson lose that. So I'm sure that went over well.
Oh, I'm sure.
I did hear it was a good atmosphere there, though. So did hear it was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I did too. I also heard that is the most fights that have been in the after a Clemson game in quite a while with LSU fans traveling in. That's not too much.
I'm not shocked.
No,
I'm not shocked.
LSU fans are gonna do LSU fan things, and that's the way LSU fans act. They are the worst winners on this planet that I can think of. Honestly, I never fails. I don't. Yeah.
Rough fan base. Rough fan base.
Rough around the edges normally. And yeah, look, Clemson just started selling alcohol, so they can count it. They can blame themselves for that.
Yeah,
they can blame themselves.
They'll be all right though.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Q, do you have anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
Man, we on to it's time to go 1-0 this week. Time to go 1-0 this week. That's the key. Time to go 1-0. Saturday is the key. Got to beat South Carolina State. I don't care who's in front of you. You got to win. Win the games in front of you.
That's it. Well, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in live as always on Facebook, X, YouTube, all that good places there. We appreciate y'all listening to the Welcome Home Podcast on Apple and Spotify, where you can catch the replay of the Welcome Home Podcast on the Believe Network, the official voice of South Carolina on the Believe Network. Guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We will see you next time.
Peace.